My name is Kristen Boeckmann, and I am a psychology as well as an occupational therapy major. And I'm in this course to earn my general education requirement as well as to try and improve my public speaking. So today I'm going to discuss some of my strengths and weaknesses as a speaker as well as how I can improve as a public speaker. So first I'll focus on my strengths. I would say my first strength is my ability to vary tone and volume in speaking. And I think this is important mostly to keep the audience engaged. If you have a very monotone or if you're just not varying your tones, it's hard for people to stay focused or really even get emotion out of your speech. And so basically, based on the topic, your tones and volumes can really change the speech. My second strength would be my organization and preparation. For many of the speeches, for example, the informative or the persuasive, it takes a lot of work to really gather the information so you can give a thorough speech. And I think that I have a strength in this area because I'm willing to really search through all the research so I can give a good speech that people are going to understand and get the most out of it without having a lot of questions afterwards. Also, I would say my third strength is just my passionate and convincing speech giving. So for example, I think that after giving a speech, people would at least, even if they don't agree with what I'm saying, they would give it a little bit of thought because I put in several good points or presented in a way that it at least deserves some consideration. Although I think I have a few strengths in my speech, I would also say that I probably have more weaknesses because I just haven't had to give many speeches or maybe I've avoided it because I really don't like it. So my first weakness I would say is eye contact. I struggle with keeping eye contact in a speech. So typically I focus on one object or one person so I don't have to make eye contact with everybody. Or if I was giving a presentation where I had a visual aid, I would stay looking at the PowerPoint instead of making eye contact with the people to make it a more personable speech. I would say my second weakness would be my lack of positive nervousness. So our textbook talked about positive nervousness, and it basically said that the audience can't tell if you're nervous when you're giving a speech. So I think that I sometimes show how nervous I am, and that's something that I should work on because my face turns red, I'll get like sweaty and I'll stutter, and so I'm going to try to work on keeping it more inside and not making it known to the audience that I'm nervous, because honestly everyone gets nervous during speeches, and so it's important to just try to act confident and show that you're ready to give this speech. My third weakness I would say is my use of filler words, and I can already tell in this speech I've done it, but the use of and things like that help, not help, but they make it so it sounds like you aren't as prepared or you're even nervous, and so that's one thing that I'm going to try to work on is work on reducing my use of filler words in order to just make the speech flow better and make it more known to the audience that you really did prepare for this speech. Although I do have these weaknesses, I think that I need to work on improving them, and I do have a few things that I plan on doing to improve them. So I think no matter what, the only thing you can do to improve your public speaking is practice. No matter how much you learn about it or read a textbook, unless you're practicing speech giving, you're not going to get better at it. And so my first thing is just in this course, I'm going to try to give it my all, working every speech to better myself after watching my speeches, see what I did wrong, and how can I make it better. My second way that I'm going to improve my public speaking, I think, is to take leadership. And so if you're in a leadership role, obviously people are looking up to you and you're giving your ideas and your thoughts to lead a group. So I think that doing this, I would have to work my public speaking to speak in front of the group or the club, and I've already started that this year by becoming the treasurer of the occupational therapy club. And so just by meeting with this group and having to give them updates and things like that on the club, I'll have to work on my public speaking and become more comfortable speaking in front of others. So that's kind of some of my strengths and weaknesses as a speaker. I do have strengths, but there's also many weaknesses that I have, and I am going to work to improve them, obviously, through giving more speeches and taking leadership roles, because without practicing, I'm not going to get any better, and I'm just going to keep having those weaknesses. And honestly, if you don't practice enough, you might even gain more weaknesses. So that's a little bit about me, and thank you for listening.